through gestures or any verbal or nonverbal communication with audience members. Coaches, please do not do anything that may be construed as consultation. Can I see any coaches in the... Okay, coaches are the... Hold on. All right, so we have multiple coaches that kind of work with each of the teams. Is that... Okay.
I was just going to identify.
Perfect. I just saw lots of hands go up, so I was confused for a second. But as long as... That's fine. Coaches should be the only one raising any challenges or questions. Coaches or players. Players are allowed to ask questions as well. But nobody else in the audience other than coaches of the teams who are competing here should be raising objections or concerns or questions. Please. With that, I'll remind you that myself and any other member of the Certamen staff, we have discretion to make rulings during the round. You have the ability to make a formal challenge, and the Certamen staff will discuss it. You are also welcome to, or you should direct that challenge via email to the Certamen chair. By the way, my name is Phil Swanger. I teach at Thales Academy in Rollsville, North Carolina. I'll be reading today. And
my name is Alex Soto. I teach middle school Latin in Austin, Texas. And congratulations on being here.
Indeed. Let me read the Aurelia passage. I think I've gotten all the pregame details and everything. Something. So I'll read the Aurelia passage so that y'all can have a chance to ask any questions about my pronunciation of Latin. Aurelia, cui ert placebat, erat in Aegypto cum familia sua calida ingenti et equo. Tredecem ludos magnos Iovis in amphitheatro Alexandriae spectabant. Tandem hic equus iratissimus domum recurre coepit. Ehu. Aurelia Anglicae dixit. You can read about the year 312 AD in history books, but can you tell us what the abbreviation OP period CIT period means? Any questions about how I pronounce Latin? Wonderful. We'll come get those from y'all. And then we'll get going. Thank you. Before we get started with the questions, I have one quick content warning to read. This is indeed 2023 NJCL Certamen Advanced Division Round 3. One quick content warning. The study of the humanities often challenges us as we examine the full range of the human experience. This Certamen round contains mention of violence and suicide. As always, take care of yourselves and reach out to your chaperones and sponsors if you need to talk about the content. And with that, let's begin. Toss-up number 1. Ready, player. What author, whose work contains the banquet of Granius and A2? Lucilius is correct. Your first bonus, Team A. Lucilius was a member of what man's literary circle, which also included Terence, Panaetius, and Laelius? Scipio Aemilianus' literary circle is correct. And bonus 2, Lucilius or Lucilius was known to be the first satirist to write in what meter, which became the standard meter for satire from then on?
Dactylic hexameter?
Dactylic hexameter is correct for 20 points on Team A. I did not finish. I should do that. So the full toss-up read, what author whose work contains the banquet of Granius and attacks against Lentulus Lupus was the first man of an aristocratic family to become a writer and wrote 30 books of satires? Because this is, if nothing else, education. All right. on, toss-up number 2. Distinguish in meaning between the verbs kolo and ko. C2.
Kolo means to inhabit, and koko means to cook.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. A4.
To kill and to drive, respectively.
I'm going to see what Team B has. Distinguish in meaning between the verbs kolo and kogo. D1.
This is wrong. To tell and to think.
Yeah, that is not going to be correct. I'm going to take to till. I don't have it on my page, but we do have cultivate, tend to. I'm going to go ahead and take it. We're going to ask the bonuses. We'll talk about it. So there is a chance that we decide not to give it to y'all. But because we did not get correct answers from the other 2 teams, we will do this. I'll put a star there. So, bonus 1 for Team A, provisionally. Now distinguish in meaning between the verbs fingo and figo.
Can we get a repeat?
Distinguish in meaning between the verbs fingo and figo.
Form and bind respectively.
Again, not what I have on the page, but fix, fasten, attach, bind, all in the same. We do appreciate creativity. Bonus 2, distinguish in meaning between the verbs minuo and minor. Distinguish the meaning between the verbs minuo and minor.
Lessen and threaten respectively.
That is correct. Thank you for giving me what's on the page. So provisionally, 20 points for Team A on toss-up 2. And then, like I said, there's a possibility that may change. But we'll do that. And for now, we're moving on to toss-up number 3 for any player. In a mausoleum on the Via Praenestina, what emperor buried his mother, the influential Augusta A1.
Constantine the First.
That is correct. And later, so what buried his mother, the influential Augusta Helena, and later followed her in adopting the Christian faith, though he didn't convert until his death in 337 AD. Constantine the First, or the Great. Bonus 1. What man divorced Helena in order to marry Maximian's stepdaughter to help solidify the Tetrarchy in 293 AD?
Constantius Chlorus.
That is correct. Constantius Chlorus. Bonus 2. What daughter of Diocletian did Galerius marry in the same year?
Can you please repeat?
What daughter of Diocletian did Galerius marry in the same year?
Valeria.
Valeria is correct. 20 points. Team A, toss up number 3. Toss up 4 for any team. What sort of event from which the voices of cranes helped Megaris? A3.
Flood.
A flood. From which the voices of cranes helped Megaris flee caused an oracle of Themis to say, quote, throw your mother's bones over your shoulder to Deucalion and Pyrrha. Team A, here's your first bonus. On what mountain did Deucalion and Pyrrha land after their long voyage?
Please repeat.
On what mountain did Deucalion and Pyrrha land after their long voyage?
Parnassus.
Asia after divining the coming of this flood?
Can you repeat?
I'll read it just as is. What creatures who invented the making of statues of the gods fled to Asia after divining the coming of this flood? Any names, please?
The Cyclops.
These are the Telkines, or Telchines. So that's 15 points on on toss-up for Team A. Toss-up number 5 for any player. Listen to the following passage about Grimace, or Vultus Distortus, which I will read twice and answer the question that follows in English. Yes, this is real life. Olim erat animal magnum, rotundum, et purpureum, nomine vultus distortus. Illud lacte glaciali bibendo, tam fruebatur, ut saepe homines aliquid bibentes sequerator, et pocula raperet. Sed non multi irascebantur propter benignitatem vultus distorti. Ergo, die eius natali, genus novum, lactis glacialis factum est, tam dulce et tam purpureum, quam hoc animal insolitum. And I shall read it one more time. Olim erat animal magnum, rotundum, et purpureum, nomine vultus distortus. Illud lacte glaciali bibendo, tam fruebatur, ut saepe homines aliquid bibentes sequerator, et pocula raperet. Sed non multi irascebantur propter benignitatem vultus distorti. Ergo, die eius natali, genus novum lactis glacialis factum est, tam dulce et tam purpureum, quam hoc animal insolitum. The question, what kind, A4,
Great and round and purple.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. I'll repeat for the other two teams. The question, what kind of people would the strange creature follow? C2.
People drinking.
That is correct. People drinking. Specifically, something, or milkshakes, or frozen milk. So that's Team C. Here's your first bonus. Why were most people not angry when Grimace stole their cups?
Can you repeat the sentence with
Propter.
Propter, so non multi irascebantur propter benignitatem vultus distorti.
Because of the kindness.
Because of his kindness. I'm
Like-
sorry. Yeah, I'm kind because of his kindness.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct. Bonus number 2. The passage continues. Quaedam puella, felicem natalem vultus distorte, exclamavit, et poculum purpureum hausit. Sed nescivit, se numquam aliquid plus locuturam ob potionem nefastam. Ehu. What scivet se numquam aliquid plus locuturum o potionem nefastam.
No one else would say more, right?
And I need an answer.
No one else would speak because there was an evil potion in the cup.
It's a scivet say. So she did not know that she would never say anything else. Or that those were her last words. So, 15 points still on toss-up number 5.
Which brings us to our score check. First score check.
Team A 75, Team B is equal score, Team C 15.
Good. Way to keep it in this time. All right, thank you for coming in. Have a seat quickly, please. Wonderful. All right. Toss-up number 6 for any team. What man held the cura annoni as quaestor in Ostia before becoming tribune? A1.
Apuleius Saturninus.
That is correct. Full question, what man held the cura annoni as quaestor in Ostia before becoming tribune and passing a lex Apuleia de Majestate, which punished Servilius Caepio for the disaster at Arausio? He ultimately was the target of a senatus consultum ultimum, wielded by Marius for instigating mob violence. Remember what I said about educational? A lot of education. Bonus 1, Team A. What ally of Saturninus attempted to illegally run for the consulship of 99 BC and was killed during the upheaval of the senatus consultum ultimum?
Servilius Glaucia.
Servilius Glaucia is correct. And your second bonus? What consul of 115 BC and the author of an autobiography, the De Vita Sua, had superseded Saturninus' cura annoni, which helped turn Saturninus against the nobility?
It's the guy that starts with as
Can you repeat?
What consul of 115 BC?
C, an author of an autobiography, the De Vita Sua, had superseded Saturninus' cura annoni, which helped turn Saturninus against the nobility. And I'm going to need an answer.
Defer to A1.
Aurelius.
Oh, was that your committee? No, that's not correct. His name was Marcus Aemilius Scaurus.
But 15 points on toss-up number 6. All right. Toss-up number 7. What man was inspired by the teeth in a snake's jaw? C1.
Cadmus.
I'm sorry, Cadmus is not correct. I'll start over for the other two teams. What man was inspired by the teeth in a snake's jawbone to create the saw? A3. Perdix is correct. To create the saw, causing him to be flung off the Acropolis and turned into a partridge. When his uncle Daedalus got jealous. Team A, your first bonus. What was the name of Daedalus' sister, the mother of this young inventor?
What was the name of Daedalus' sister?
The mother of this young inventor.
Perdix.
It was indeed also Perdix. Notice 2. Name either of the two inventions with which this young inventor was sometimes credited. Name either of the two inventions with which this young inventor was sometimes credited. I'm going to need an answer.
Wheel.
Can you be more specific?
Dragon wheel.
No, I'm sorry. The one is a potter's wheel,
Freaking
and the other is a geometric compass. We appreciate the passion. So 15 points on toss-up 7. Toss-up number 8 for any player. Stylistic asymmetry, or A2. Salus is correct. Or inconcinitas characterizes the work of what author who wrote a historical work in monographic form on the war against Catiline. Bonus 1. Salus wrote another historical monograph on the wars against what foreign ruler?
Can you repeat?
Salus wrote another historical monograph on the wars against what foreign ruler?
Jugurtha?
That's correct. And your second bonus, what work of Salus is incomplete and narrates events from 78 to 67 BC?
Historia?
Historiae, or the histories, is correct. 20 points for Team A. On toss-up number 8. Toss-up 9 for any player. In the English sentence, if we were present at school, we would be happy. C2. Answer, please.
Future more vivid.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. I'll start over for the other two teams. In the English sentence, if we were present at school, we would be happy. Say in Latin, we would be happy. A4. Laeti Asamus is correct. Could have also accepted Gauderemus or Laitaramor. First bonus. Now, translate this sentence into English. Nisi magister homo maximi sapientiae fuisset, de spera visemus.
Now translate this sentence into English. Nisi magister homo maximi sapientiae fuisset, de spera visemus.
And I need your answer.
Defer to A4.
Unless the teacher had been a man of the greatest knowledge, we would have lost hope.
Yes. Sorry, I normally expect wisdom for sapientia as opposed to just like book knowledge, but it works.
That's why I'm marking it down to and we'll talk it over. But there is always
It's here. So yeah.
it's in Sapientia. Okay. Remember, language moving from one language to another is never a strictly one-to-one thing. So your second bonus now. Translate this sentence into English. Si quid agere velitis, tantum numina petatis.
Could you repeat?
Now translate this sentence into English. Si quid agere velitis, tantum numina petatis.
If you should want to do anything, you would so much seek like divine wills.
Tantum here is really means only or just, because it's not modifying anything. The so much it would be like tanta numina or tantum numen or something like that. So almost everything. 15 points still on the question though for Team A. Toss-up number 10 for any player. When recognized by the moderator, perform or describe the following commands, keeping in mind to be safe. Soleam tuam remoe et tutissime eam jace. A4.
Very safely.
Thank you for clarifying. Yes, you may. That's correct. We ask for the student to remove their own shoe and very safely toss it. So if they know what is good for them, not at the moderator. Bonus 1 for Team A. Same instructions. Perform or describe the following commands. Always keeping in mind to be safe. Multiplicator, pulsate, manu vestra, manum alius hominis.
Multiplicator, pulsate, manu vestra, manum alius hominis.
That is correct. Multiple students should slap hands, give high fives multiple times. So we're just looking for 2 or more students, multiple slaps. Your second bonus, same instructions, perform or describe the following commands. Quinquienes, plaudite et dicite anglicae, eamus aquilae.
Could you repeat?
Quinquienes, plaudite et dicite anglicae, eamus aquilae.
Okay, so 5 times we have to clap and say let's go Eagles, and it's more than one of us, so
So that you can
let's count them.
more than 5?
Just 5.
Just 5.
Exactly 5.
Okay. Ready? This is our answer.
Let's go Eagles.
Very good. Let's give that a round. We were hoping there might be a kind of, sports fan cheering, spirit cheer, whatever. But you satisfied the question. 20 points on toss-up number 10. I guess it's appropriate we were clapping because now we have another score check.
Team A 160, Team B is yet to score, Team C 15.
Very good. Yes.
Can we get a check on the toss-up 9 bonus 2? Thompson can't be in every meeting so much.
I will write it down and we'll take a look.
Thank you. Can we try to recreate your response?
Yeah. So I said I think the conditional stuff was all right?
Everything was right except
Okay, so it's
they
first,
said
protasis, you should so much seek the divine wills.
That's why I paused, is I particularly with him that you also got Twitter.
Yes.
So, assuming you can read, yeah. Oh yeah, this is our bonus to, star. I know.
Faces.
Giving myself a nickname, let me tell you.
Alright. If we're good, moving on to toss-up 11. Change the Latin phrase idem locus to the genitive A4
Eustem loci.
to the genitive singular, which means of the same place. Eustem loci. Team A, your first bonus, change the Latin phrase idem locus to the nominative plural, which means the same places.
So same places, that's kind of an important detail right there. So it's eadem loca. Right there. Okay.
Different A4?
Eadem loca.
That's correct. And bonus 2. Now using a comparative form of idoneus, say in Latin, there are more suitable places.
Sunt magis idonea loca. Can we get a repeat?
Now using a comparative form of idoneus, say in Latin, there are more suitable places.
Sunt magna idonea loca.
Sunt magna idonea loca.
Magna is unfortunately not a comparative. So sunt magis idonea loca. But 15 points on toss-up A. Toss-up A, Team A, toss-up 11. Toss-up number 12. What abbreviation originally comes from a 2-word Latin phrase? A4.
T period F period.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. Start over for teams B and C. What abbreviation originally comes from a 2-word Latin phrase, videre licet? which is contracted to the single word vide licet, meaning namely. C2.
Viz. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. VIZ period. Good. Bonus 1 for Team C.
Give the Latin for the abbreviation Q period S period, used on prescriptions to indicate the pharmacist should dispense an amount suitable for the need.
Repeat the question.
Give the Latin for the abbreviation Q period S period, used on prescriptions, and I need an answer.
Code certificate.
It's quantum certificate. So you're thinking right, but quantum certificate. Or quantum science. Second bonus, coins of the late Queen Elizabeth II bear the inscription DG REG FD. Give the Latin and English for either DG or FD.
Filia, and then, right? Or thick. Oh, yeah. Can you repeat the abbreviation?
DG REG FD. I need an answer, please.
Fake it denarium for FD.
I will stop you right there. FD is Fidei Defensor, or Defensatrix, Defender of the Faith. The other one then being Dei Gratia, by the grace of God. But 10 points for Team C on toss-up number 12. Toss-up 13. What work dedicated to Gaius Memmius? A2. De Rerum Natura is correct. Expounds on Epicureanism and provides explanations for various physical and natural phenomena in 6 books of dactylic hexameter, and was written by Lucretius. Bonus 1, Team A. The preface of the De Rerum Natura contains an address to which goddess?
Venus.
Venus is correct, specifically Venus Genetrix. Bonus 2, according to Jerome, the De Rerum Natura was revised and published by what author?
Cicero.
Cicero is correct. 20 points, Team A. Toss-up number 14. After slaying the chieftain Deldo of the A1.
Licinius Crassus the Younger.
That is correct. Bonus number 1. For Team A, what prefect of Egypt was recalled by Octavian in 29 BC for setting up statues of himself?
Can you visit it?
What prefect of Egypt was recalled by Octavian in 29 BC for setting up statues of himself?
Cornelius Gallus.
That is correct. And bonus 2. Before his suicide, Cornelius Gallus had pushed the frontier of Roman Egypt down to the first cataract of the Nile. In 25 BC, what title was used for the Queen of Ethiopia who attacked the Romans there?
Kandake.
Kandake is correct. 20 points. Team A on toss-up 14. Toss-up 15 for any player. What mythological location do characters leave through a gate of ivory? A4.
The underworld.
The underworld is correct. Through a gate of ivory after a parade of heroes is shown by the Sibyl and the deceased Anchises to Aeneas. The underworld, Dis, Pluto, Erebus, or Hades. Bonus number 1 for Team A. In the Aeneid, Aeneas reaches the underworld by entering a cave near what lake?
Awareness.
Avernus.
Avernus is correct. And bonus 2, in the underworld, Aeneas sees we would have taken Caneus as well. Caneus or Caneus. 20 points for Team A on toss-up number 15, and we are at our next score check.
Team A 235, Team B is yet to score, Team C 25.
Very good. As you're leaving, please leave quickly and quietly so we can continue. All right, toss-up 16 for any player. Identify the author of the following scene from Latin literature. Erat miseni classemque imperio. C1.
Virgil.
Sorry, Virgil is not correct. I'll start over for the other two teams. Identify the author of the following scene from Latin literature. Erat miseni classemque imperio praesens regebat. Nonum calendas septembres, hora fere septima, mater mea indicat ei apparere, nubem in usitata et magnitudine et specie. Nubes. A2.
Marshall?
Sorry, Marshall's not correct. I will start the question over for Team B. Identify the author of the following scene from Latin literature. Erat miseni classemque imperio praesens regebat. Nonum calendas septembres, hora fere septima, mater mea indicat. Ei apparere, nubem in usitata et magnitudine et specie. Nubes incertum procul intuentibus ex quo monte, Vesuvium fuisse postea cognitum est, Aurier batur. No buzz. I've only read through once, so I'm going to read it again. Identify the...
We're not making you guys.
Thank you. B3.
We're not making you guys listen to it again.
You don't have a guess. All right. I heard size at Vesuvium. This is Pliny the Younger writing about the eruption of Vesuvius. Gaius Achilles Plinius Secundus. Woe to us, we don't get to ask the visual questions. Do y'all want to see the visual?
Yes.
Alright, advance round 3.
I can can't talk.
You're going to have to squint because it's 4 different images.
Wow. That's smart. That's smart. Like that.
Just for informational purposes, the images depict in letter A the death of Pompey as told by Lucan. In part B, the eruption of Vesuvius, as mentioned in the toss-up. Part C, the story of Androcles and the lion, as mentioned in Gellius. And then part D, there's a lovely mid-transformation into a donkey taken from the Metamorphoses by Apuleius. Alright, no points then on toss-up 16. Toss-up 17. Rationalized by Pausanias as a female bandit on Mount A3.
Sphinx?
The Sphinx is correct. On Mount Ficium, what strangler asked Boeotian travelers a cryptic riddle to which Oedipus gave the answer of man? The Sphinx. Notice 1, Team A. What man was usually identified as the last victim of the Sphinx? Haimon is correct. Notice 2, according to one story, Hera sent the Sphinx to punish thieves when they did not punish Laius for abducting what youth?
Chrysippus is correct.
For 20 points on Team A. Toss-up number 18 for any player. Give the Latin verb and its meaning from which we derive entreat. A4. Answer, please.
Trikai, meaning trifles.
That's not correct. C2. Answer, please.
Intro.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. I'll start it over for Team B. Give the Latin verb and its meaning from which we derive entreatment, portrait, trace, and trailer. That was. I'll read it a second time. Give the Latin verb and its meaning from which we derive entreatment, portrait, trace, and trailer. Read it twice. And I'll call time. This is from traho, to drag. No points on toss-up 18. Toss-up number 19 for any player. In Augustus's time, the financial burdens incurred from burials were lessened because of the creation of what? C3.
A graveyard.
Can you be more specific? I'm sorry, that's not correct. I see no other buzzes, so we'll clear it and start over. In Augustus' time, the financial burdens incurred from burials were lessened because of the creation of what structures, which allowed families to
Store their urns in one place, and whose name derives from the Latin word for dove. A1. Answer, please. No, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Team B, I can read it one more time. In Augustus' time, the financial burdens incurred from burials were lessened because of the creation of what structures, which allowed families to store their urns in one place, and whose name derives from the Latin word for dove. Read it twice. Calling time. These are columbaria, or columbarium in the plural. So no points on toss-up 19, and we'll have our final score check. Well, before the final toss-up.
Team A, 255. Team B is yet to score. Team C, 25.
And our final toss-up. Translate the following sentence from Latin to English. Certamen acto nostris cum amicis gaudeamus. A4.
With the Certamen having been done, let's rejoice with our friends.
Very good. With the Certamen, or the round, of the contest having been done, or now that the contest is done, or because the contest is done, let us rejoice with our friends. Team A, here's your first bonus. Now translate this sentence into English. Moderator videtur, oblitus esse rogandorum bonorum.
Could you repeat?
Moderator videtur, oblitus esse rogandorum bonorum.
For the A4.
The moderator seems to have forgotten to ask the bony that had to be asked.
Yes, the bonus questions. But way to draw out the gerundive. And bonus 2, finally translate this sentence into English. Nobis mirandum est utrum hoc certamen unquam perficiat.
Can we get a repeat?
Nobis mirandum est utrum hoc certamen unquam perficiat.
For the A4.
We must wonder whether this Certamen, like, will ever finish.
Yes, we'll ever finish.
Will ever end. For 20 points on toss-up number 20, team A. And our final score.
Team A, 275. Team B is yet to score. Team C, 25.
look forward to the final pairing. And have a good night, everybody. Remember, open forum is tonight, and we're talking about warfare.